Oh man.
Alert. Enemy caution level rising. Cause is most likely concern over Unit 9S gaining access to tower.
Out of my way! Damn it! They won't stop coming!
Alert. Allied signal detected.
Oh.
Allies?
Oh.
Wait, you?
Again!
9S, we've been expecting you.
Okay.
The two of us will take things from here. You need to open the door to the tower.
That was a good subversion of expectations.
Automata? What are you doing here?
Remember your promise?
What are you talking about?
Come on, 9S. Hack in while you can.
None of this makes any sense!
We'll explain everything once we're inside.
Oh, you two are awesome. I love you guys.
We've got this, 9S. You just focus on hacking.
Okay, done. Now I do the hacking. And no time limit, so that's good. Oh, how am I supposed to get behind these guys? Come on. Huh.
What's this barrier?
Analysis. It is part of a closed defensive system.
Well, how do I break it down?
Hypothesis. Unit 9S could permit its self-consciousness data to lose control. The resulting energy surge has an acceptable probability of temporarily paralyzing the barrier.
That's almost as bad as not going in at all!
What happened?
It's the barrier.
Popola!
No, don't! You can't do anything! The wall's got a self-closing algorithm!
Devil and I, we have to atone for our sins no matter what!
Yeah,
But if
you do.
that, your circuits will...
Devil! Right.
Devila!
I hope you don't regret this.
But there was an item outside I wanted to get. Okay. I kind of wanted you guys to come with me, but that's fine. If that happened, you would have answered all kinds of questions yourself, and that's not the way this happens. I get it. Data records discovered for units Devila and Popola. Do you wish to open this data now? Yeah. A dusty wind kisses my cheeks. Buried in sand, we press forward one step at a time. We have nowhere else to go, after all. Because our models, the Davila and Popola models, are defective. Okay, so it's their models, not particular people. They're defective. Record transitions in the project's initial phase. When first we woke, there were still people. They had flesh, egos, emotions, souls, and they issued us a single order. Functions as observers of Project Gestalt. This is the sole mission of the twin Davila and Popola models. It is the only reason we exist at all. We were the latest model, though many companions shared our appearance. There was a sparkle in all of our eyes, a sense of pride at having been entrusted with humanity's future. And yes, there was anxiety as well. But we existed as a pair. We shared destiny's burden as a pair, and because of that, all hesitation was swept away. Each pair was given their own cities as observation areas. We were ordered to guide the replicants with our own hands, all for the sake of the promised time that would one day arrive. We were the only ones who could handle such a duty. We were observers after all. Ah, watch out! Davila staggers and falls in the soft yet unforgiving sand. I hurry to her side and sigh with relief when I find she's not seriously hurt. Are you alright? Sorry, sis. Guess I spaced out there for a bit. She smiles, the same wry smile I know so well, as she rubs absently at her leg. It is wrapped in a white bandage. Your bandage is coming undone. Here, let me change it. It's alright, Popola. Come on, we have to go before we lose the light. We won't be going anywhere if sand gets into that thing. Now quit whining and hold still. I'll be quick. Davila grunts and turns away. I take it as consent. Soon we are resting in the shade of a nearby rock as I pull the bandage free. Artificial skin, torn and bloodied, peeks out from beneath the bandage. Judging by Davila's current lack of ambulatory control, I imagine the circuitry underneath has been damaged as well. Taking a deep breath, I check the circuitry to see if it can be repaired. As expected, wiring in the nerve circuitry has been damaged. Replacing it will require new connectors as well as some tools, none of which is easy to find in a desert. Sorry about this, sis, mutters Davila. That wry smile again. It kills me every time. Don't you dare apologize, I respond. You've done nothing wrong. I calmly change the bandage, trying not to let my worry show. I make it as tight as possible so no sand can slip inside. It's all I can do until I get the proper materials. But that's going to be a tall order, considering our current condition. I'm sorry, sister. Okay, now you're apologizing. We both apologize while insisting the other's apology isn't necessary. It's kind of funny in a way. Such a trivial exchange under such circumstances. We laugh together, the sound echoing out across the desert before being stolen by the cool evening wind. Report regarding the increase in relapses. There has to be some way to prevent relapses. Davila's sharp voice echoes through our private quarters. You must be quiet, sister. The replicants will hear. They wouldn't understand, even if they did. That might be true, but regardless. Annoyed at my hesitation, Devil crosses her legs and scowls. The black scrawl took another victim, she says. That's 3 this month. It's spreading way too fast. Let's wait and see what happens. I'm tired of hearing you say that. Her shout makes me jump. Just a little, but enough for her to notice. Seeing that, her eyes suddenly open wide. I'm sorry, sis. It's not your fault. I shouldn't have lashed out like that. It's okay. I understand. It's all going wrong. You can feel it too, right? When I was first assigned to Project Gestalt, I was over the moon with pride. But now, my chest hurts just to think about it. If it were to fail, before we knew it, the replicants had gained a sense of self, and the black scrawl started raging out of control. It moved fast. So fast. Like a wind. Popola and I would go to the observation room and act like it was all okay. We talked to replicants as if we didn't have a care in the world, but at night, we just hold each other and share the horror of it all. I'm glad you were with me, murmurs Popola. I couldn't have handled being an observer all alone. We were able to endure because we had each other, I reply softly. Did the humans see this coming? Is that why they made a twin model? Were they really so clever? Were they really so cruel? I couldn't have done this by myself. I would have descended into madness. I simply couldn't bear such a burden all alone. When I get the chance, I'm going to try contacting another city, she says. Maybe these abnormalities are a localized phenomenon. I pray that's the case, I reply. Even if we're of no use to ourselves, things will still work out if the other observers can just pull through. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. But it wasn't okay. Nothing was okay. All thanks to a pair of Devil and Popola models from another town. The wind rubs my cheeks. The sand grazes my skin. It's grown cold out here. We walk with renewed purpose, hoping to make up for lost time. Devila loses her balance every now and then. It gets bad after a while. I slip myself under her arm so she won't fall again, and we press on. Is your leg alright? Well, I doubt I'll be dancing anytime soon, but yeah, it's fine. She smiles as she says this, but I can tell she doesn't have much left. And yet she continues to smile. Also, I won't worry. I remember when our resistance allies injured her leg. I was furious. Beyond fury. I wanted to scream and cry and lose myself in it. But then she smiled, and all of that rage just drifted away. To think we have the same face, yet such different smiles. One day I realized how she reminded me of the martyrs I'd seen in old records. That was the day we decided to leave our town forever. Record of Project Gestalt's end. Our role as observers ended on the day Project Gestalt collapsed, all due to the actions of Devil and Popola models from another town. With the original Gestalt lost, humanity was doomed to an inevitable extinction. Knowing this, we gathered what remaining replicant data we could find and launched it to the surface of the moon. And though success was as unlikely as finding a lost sand grain in the desert, we still had to attempt it. We still had to try. We were androids, you see. Protecting humanity was our instinct. Other androids, beholden to that same instinct, began to direct their hate at the Devil and Popola models who had snuffed out humanity. It started small, a few offhand remarks, the occasional glance. But even the smallest things have weight, and with enough of them combined, that weight eventually becomes a boulder. Emotions boiled over, remarks became jeers, and soon enough, my sister and I were the perfect target for persecution. At first, we simply accepted the fact that our friends turned on us. it was almost unavoidable, I suppose. We were observers for Project Gestalt after all. And while didn't cause it to fail, the people who did, well, they looked just like us. So we accepted it. We took the resentment and scorn. We endured. Because as crazy as it sounds, I think we actually felt responsible. We moved from town to town in an effort to avoid persecution. But in one such town, my seemingly infinite patience finally broke. My sister Devila met with unprovoked violence at the hands of a resistance member. She said something in response to his taunts. Something quiet. And though her words were ambiguous, he slashed her leg nearly in two. My vision narrowed, everything went red, and then she smiled at me. "It's okay, sis. There's nothing we can do." But it was too late. My emotions were no longer in my control. I'm simply not strong enough to stand aside and let the most important person in the world come to harm. Devila and I left town that same day. Violence like that wouldn't stop. It was going to happen again. And it wouldn't be coming from just one person. So rather than let them kill us, we ran. I guess it was the greatest resistance I could muster. We lose the sun as dark clouds gather overhead. We continue our march. A cold wind blasts us, stealing what little body heat we have left. I smell rain in the air. We continue our march. Sometimes we hear animals howling in the distance. It makes us flinch every time. But we continue our march because even this is better than suffering at the hands of our fellow androids. Why must we suffer this persecution? I know we're the same model as the androids who doomed humanity, so I understand that part. At least a little anyway. But at the same time, we're not them. We're not the same. We are who we are, and that Devila and Popola were who they were. That's how I felt when I saw Devila being hurt. I wanted to shout it at everyone. I wanted to scream. As far as I'm concerned, there's only one Devila. And for her, there's only me. No one can take the other's place. Rain falls from the sky. It stimulates our sensation nerves like cold needles. We need maintenance badly, but that's a pipe dream, I suppose. No android would dare help out a pair of outcasts like us. Are you cold, Devila? I'm alright as long as you're with me, sis. I feel the same. We press our bodies together to try and retain heat. It's cold now. Much worse than the searing heat of midday. But we just smile at each other and keep pressing on. There's another camp on this other side of the desert. A new camp. If we can just get there, I can finally fix Devila's leg. And yet, I wonder if there's anywhere on this planet that will take us. Hey, what's wrong? It's nothing. Don't worry about it. I do what I can to suppress the anxiety in my chest and keep walking. The rain grows worse. It lashes at us without pause. Is this our punishment? I reach out and support Devila's body. As long as we have bodies to support one another, as long as I have someone with whom to share my fate, then I will press on no matter what happens to me. Because I won't ever stop protecting her. I won't stop. No one stops. For that is the fate we twin androids have been assigned. The failure to manage the area resulted in the collapse of the Gestalt system, which led to the decimation of the human race. Due to the discovery of its instability, the twin system was removed from future android production designs. Following the incident, Devila and Popola models were not dismantled. However, in order to prevent further unexpected behavior, they underwent a memory wipe. Furthermore, they were reprogrammed to generate constant feelings of guilt.
That is all that remains from
That's
their
terrible.
personal record during the era in which they were referred to as administrators.
I see.
Query: why do the androids Devila and Popola seem to prefer death over surviving alone? There was a very high probability that at least one could have escaped.
I hope you never have to understand.
Affirmative.